a little bit of a love-hate relationship with foil packet meals. The key to successful foil packet cooking is, who knew broccoli was that popular? And let's talk about what I don't like about foil packets. It's actually really good. Welcome to the Spicy Apron cooking show. I am so excited to bring you guys my RV cooking series. Those of you who follow me know we love to go RVing. We go all the time. And I know a lot of you guys also go RVing. So I thought it would be fun to put together a series of videos, especially because RV season is finally here, that will help you cook inside your RV or maybe outside your RV, or even some make-ahead meals that will help you and make it a lot easier for you when you're out with your friends and family enjoying this beautiful country that we live in. So today I am going to talk about foil packet meals. I'm going to show you a specific one: chicken, broccoli, potatoes. It's really good, but the principles apply to all foil packet meals. So you can kind of mix and match and do it the way you like it. So if you are interested in RV cooking or camping cooking, please go ahead and subscribe and make sure to hit that notification bell, because that way you will be notified every time one of my new videos comes out. Also, I've got a free PDF download I'm going to tell you about in just a minute. And exciting news, I am in the middle of writing, I'm actually kind of done, but it's got to go through the publishing process, but writing an RV cookbook. I believe it's going to be called RV Cooking Made Easy. The publisher gets the final say on that one, but it's coming out later this year. So also make sure to subscribe, because I will give you more information on that as we get closer to the release date of that book. I'm very excited. It came together primarily based on a lot of feedback from a lot of you guys and a lot of people in RV Facebook groups. So I will be updating you with that information as well. Now, let's get to foil packet meals. You know, I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with foil packet meals. There's a lot I love about them, and there's a lot I don't love about them. So let's get to it, and I will explain myself as we go along. Now, what I have done is diced up the vegetables that I want to put in my foil packet dinner. The key to successful foil packet cooking is the size and the ratio and the density of what you put in it, because they're all cooking at the same time. So you need to get that right. So let's talk about the vegetables. I did dice them up. I started with the red bell peppers. Now, again, this is about a 1-inch dice on the bell peppers. You could do 1.5 inches. These are fairly dense, but not as dense as the potatoes. So when I am planning on how big to chop everything else, I actually focus on my most dense item in the foil packet, which is, in this case, a potato. I use red potatoes because you don't have to peel them, but those are definitely in about a 1-inch dice. And then again, I do the peppers to match. The peppers can be a little bit bigger. If you'll see, I have some pieces that are a little bit bigger. So you can do that. And then I have broccoli. Now, broccoli is less dense, so the pieces can be bigger because it takes less time to cook. This recipe, I have actually doubled the amount of broccoli, because the last time I made it for my family, everybody felt like they got ripped off and didn't get enough broccoli. Who knew broccoli was that popular? I do have the recipe link below, so go ahead and click it. It'll take you to my website. It's printable, so you can print it and take it with you. Now, that is for the vegetables. I'll get to the seasonings in just a minute. And then chicken, I am using chicken tenders. You could use chicken thighs if you want, boneless, skinless. This is also boneless, skinless. They're a little bit greasier, the thighs. I do love thighs. You guys know this by now. My favorite. But they can make the foil packet a little bit greasy and watery. So I stick with chicken breast or chicken breast tenders for this recipe. And then these are cut into about a 1.5-inch dice. Now, let's get to the seasonings. You know, it's funny, those of you who watch my videos, I'm so used to cooking in my own kitchen for my videos. I cook in my RV all the time, but it's a little bit awkward doing it on camera. This is my first time, so, you know, give me a thumbs up for giving it a shot. Anyway, all I do is I drizzle about a tablespoon of olive oil on the veggies. Of course, the two main seasoning ingredients, salt and pepper. So go ahead and put a fairly healthy dose of those in there. Now, in my book, I talk about the spices that I think are really essential to pack in your RV. Two of the ones I use most often, Italian seasoning and garlic powder. Usually I have them in fancy little containers when I cook at home for the videos, but you know, this is RV cooking. This is reality. This is what it's like. So I put about a teaspoon of both the garlic powder and the Italian seasonings. I actually put a little bit more than that. So make sure to check out that recipe link. Okay, so I mix the vegetables just to make sure they're all well coated with the olive oil and the spices. And then I'm going to divide it equally among the 4 packets and then add the chicken and put some seasoning on top of the chicken. That way you make sure you get the right amount of chicken in each packet and then nobody gets ripped off because, you know, I've been accused of that before. Okay, so let's talk about how to do foil packets for just a minute. You need a sheet of foil for each one. That is about 12 inches by 18 inches. My sister did the first round of editing in my book, and apparently I put 12 feet by 18 feet. Don't do that. You do not need that much foil. This is about the size you need. I do like to coat the bottom of it with a little bit of oil so things don't stick to it. You can certainly use spray, non-stick spray if you would like. And I actually have a lot of vegetables here. This meal is supposed to feed 4 people. I'm looking at it going, yeah, that's way more than 4 people. So I probably won't use all of this. Although if you wanted a really hearty foil packet, this would be a good amount. Now let's talk about what I like about foil packets. They're super easy. They come together quickly. They cook quickly, and there's almost no cleanup. So that's awesome. I'm going to tell you in a minute what I don't like about them. All right, so you can see I have a nice healthy serving of vegetables on this packet. Now I am going to add the chicken. And yes, just for the record, yes, I am using the same tongs because guess what? This is all going to be cooked. So I don't need all these comments about how disgusting that is. Trust me, it's all fine. Okay, so put 1/4 of your chicken pieces. I have about 1.5 pounds of chicken. Spread that chicken on top of your vegetables. So at this point, I add a little bit more salt and pepper to the top of the chicken because if you remember, we did not season the chicken the way we seasoned the vegetables. I actually can smell those seasonings off the vegetables really, really good. It smells fantastic. All right, now with these foil packets, what you want to do, and I'm so sorry it's noisy, I guess I didn't really think about that. So you're going to want to fold the longer ends up and roll it down, but you definitely need to leave about 2 to 3 inches, at least a couple of inches of space above the food because how foil packets cook is actually it steams in there. Sometimes I add liquid in it to help the steaming process. That often ends up with foil packets that are a little too liquidy. So I generally will do it without adding liquid to the packet. So once the top is folded down like this, then you take the sides and fold them, and you do want to make sure it's pretty tightly sealed because again, it is creating steam and that is how it's going to cook. So there's the first one. I'm going to assemble the other 3, and then we're going to talk about the different methods to cook them. Okay, so all 4 are made, and by the way, I did actually use pretty much all of those vegetables that I had cut up, so that's awesome. They're pretty big though, but they're great. They're perfect size for 4 adults. Now, let's talk about how to cook them. I am going to cook these in my RV oven. Yes, we're going to have to do a little bit of gymnastics in order to get the pilot light lit. We all know how that goes, don't we? Yeah, that's not fun. But you can do them on a campfire, which I live in Arizona, and most of the camping that I do is in the Rocky Mountains, and often, unfortunately, there is a fire ban, so we can't do that. But you could also put it on your grill, a propane grill, or a charcoal grill, which we also can't do. But I'm going to go ahead and do them in the oven for about 25 minutes at 425, and let's put them in and get our little yoga and gymnastics exercise while I try to light the pilot light. Okay, I got the oven lit. How many of you hate your RV oven? I will say I actually used to hate it, never use it. Once I kind of got a system down on how to start it and get the pilot lit, it's actually pretty good. So I actually use it a fair amount now, whereas I used to not. But comment below if you actually use your RV oven, or do you use it for storage, which a lot of people do. Very curious how that one's gonna play out. So let me know, comment below if you use your RV oven or if you don't. I've got these in the oven, and in the meantime, I wanted to tell you about that free PDF that I was talking about. It's my top 5 RV cooking recipes. There's a little something for everybody. There's a dessert, there's a make-ahead meal, there's a cook it in your oven meal. So the link to that is below. Just go ahead and sign up and it will go directly to your inbox, and it is free to get you going until my cookbook comes out. Okay, they are done, and I just pulled a couple of them out here to show you. And let's talk about what I don't like about foil packets. Okay, I've already told you I love. They're easy to clean. I mean, there's basically no cleanup. They come together really, really quickly. Here's what I don't like, and I don't know how good of a job the camera will do. The truth is, they're not very pretty, and I don't love that about them. They're cool and they're awesome if you're sitting by a campfire. I mean, pretty much everything's awesome if you're sitting by a campfire, isn't it? But if you look here, let me get rid of that one. Here's one. Now, this is about as pretty as they get because I chose the red bell peppers and also the broccoli. And so you can see, but it is just kind of a blob of food. So generally that's not how I present things. However, when you're out camping, it is good. So let me give it a taste. You might have to add a little bit extra salt after it has steamed because sometimes the salt, it'll lose a little bit of that salty flavor. Ooh, it's hot. You can see it. It's actually really good. It does not need anything extra. Look at that chicken. It is perfectly cooked. Cute little piece of broccoli sitting on top. You really can't go wrong with foil packets, guys. Now, you can either serve them in the foil like this, but they can break open and get a hole, and then it's a big, huge mess. So I actually recommend just dumping it all into a bowl and then go ahead and sit outside and enjoy your meal. Thank you so much for joining me on the Spicy Apron Cooking Show. Please let me know down below if you are as excited as I am about this RV cooking series. Happy cooking, happy eating, and happy camping.